wonderful clients. We are going to focus on treating her little hump that she has here on the lower cervical disc. This would be around C7. So this is also known as a Dowager's hump. It's pretty much where there is an instability in the cervical spine due to your posture, so your neck posture. Now this could be because my client works at a desk full time, so we have a tendency of forgetting about our posture throughout the day, and we start, our head starts coming forward to be able to make ourselves feel comfortable. Sometimes we're not aware of it, but it happens. So I'm going to show you today on how to use your Fasciablasters, on how to address this. For some people, they feel very uncomfortable with this hump in the back. It's not aesthetically pleasing, but there is a way to address this. I don't really like to say the word fix it, because what happens is when you say the word fix it, you think you can't keep working on it. And this is something that you do have to work continuously on it, because our bodies are like a car, let's say. It constantly needs maintenance. You don't just drive your car and not do your oil change and then, forget about your oil change once you've done an oil change and you keep driving it. No, you constantly change your oil every certain amount of miles. The same thing goes with our bodies. We need to consistently lubricate it with massage, deep tissue work. That's the way we hydrate our fascial layers, it's through pressure and manipulation. So Dowager's hump, it comes about by pretty much adipose tissue, because the body wants to find stability, so the body will deposit fat, also known as adipose, and calcification in the area. So what we're going to do is, by fasciablasting, we are initiating the body's innate system to be able to come in here, which is the inflammation process, right? We're calling on all the good cells to come here, clean this up, and pretty much clean it up and kind of get rid of it through waste. So that's where our lymphatic system comes into play, and that's where our blood flow comes into play, because all these systems are one system at the end of the day, and they all work together to make things happen for us on a daily basis. So I'm going to show you how we're going to address this. So first we're going to lubricate the neck area or upper body. I like to work, when it comes to the neck, I like to first do a nice lymphatic clearing, whether through dry brushing or other, lymphatic drainage methods that you feel most comfortable with. So I like to start doing that first. So then when I start working on this, the body has no obstruction to prevent it from doing what it needs to do. Okay, so we are going to first lubricate. Once you've done your lymphatic clearing, we're going to lubricate. And then you're going to grab your face blaster or any small claw tool. It could be a paddle blaster mini. It could be a master blaster if you're treating yourself, so you can reach this hard to reach area. But if you have your therapist doing it for you, they can use the face blaster. They can use also the one claw tool off the OMG set, and they can start addressing or preparing this tissue so we can start working into deeper layers of our fascial tissue. So I'm just gonna go really nice and fast. My pressure is not deep at all, it's really light. So I just want to get this area to look nice and flush, to bring that blood into the superficial layers of our fascia and our skin. Our skin is one of our, well, I should say now, researchers now saying that fascia is one of our largest sensory organs. So what I want to do is I want to be able to, for my clients to be receptive to this treatment. So I can't do that if I go aggressive. I have to go very light and just get a feel for her body, what it will allow me to do, what won't it allow me to do. So it's very receptive right now. I'm going really, really light. I'm trying to kick in the parasympathetic system, and that's what it will allow for her to rest and allow me to do what I have to do. So I just want to have this area turn nice and flush, nice and red. That's how I know I'm doing what I'm supposed to be doing. And a nice, lightly, fast and brisk motion. So we're getting a nice reaction here. If I want, I can go up and down. I know we get a few questions. How should I manipulate? Should I do cross fiber? Should I go up and down? Yes, you can do both. Doing both, well, I feel like cross fiber actually makes the blood flow quicker to the superficial layers. But either or, whatever feels better for you and more receptive for your body, because everybody is different. So I'm gonna switch up and go cross fiber and really address this here. Back and forth, just like that. And I'm gonna work a little bit towards maybe her mid-back to get these muscles and fascial tissue to relax as well. And once I've done that, I'm getting that reaction that I want. I can then go in there with a big claw tool. Now this could be your mini, your big daddy. If you're working on yourself, it could be the original Fasciablaster. Whatever tool works for you as you're treating yourself, or if your therapist is treating you, whatever tool feels most comfortable. So here I'm going the same way, going cross fiber. And I'm going then up and down. So for some people, the up and down motion is relaxing for them, where the cross fiber is more like, all right, I'm prepping this tool, ready to, run a marathon. So this could be a very stimulating technique right here. Whereas the up and down feels very nice and soft to, a client's nervous system. So we're gonna do a mixture of both, because fascia likes a challenge, likes different methods to be used, always likes to be tested. Because if you do the same treatment up and down constantly, it's no longer a challenge, so your body gets used to that. So you kind of want to mix things up. And feel free to use your cupping. Cupping is phenomenal for this type of, for this type of treatment. We can use 1, 2, 3 cups around here. You don't want to overdo it with doing 15 cups on your back. Less is more, especially for our bodies, especially for fascia. You don't want to do too much all at once. So depends on also where you are, what stage you are in your fascia blasting journey. If you're just starting out, please start slowly. If you're a seasoned fascia blaster, you can kind of play around with it. But again, for me, it's never done me wrong doing less. So then after that, once you've stimulated this, as you can see, I'm not really doing too much. I'm doing like not even maybe a minute of fascia blasting, and I'm getting a beautiful reaction in this tissue. So then once we've done that, we can then grab a nugget, which is a refining tool, and we kind of work in there. Now, many of you don't know this, but the nugget has 2 different ends. One is wider, the other one is narrower. So I like to start with the wider end. It's a little bit less, how could I say, less, I guess, aggressive to the tissue. The pointier can be a little bit too much. Using the wider end is more soothing for our tissue. And then later on, if you want, you can then start playing around with the pointier end. I always like to start slowly, never too much. Again, you don't know, especially when you're working on your clients, you don't know the level of trauma, that they may be storing in this area. So less is always more. So I feel tightness in this area. And I'm not digging too deep. I'm just doing just enough to continue bringing that blood flow in the area. And then I am just spreading the tissue out down along her spine. And I'm just gonna stop like mid-back right there. And then I'll do the other side. If you wanna work all the way into the suboccipitals, you can. Get right in there and kind of work down, 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 all the way down to her mid-spine. That's fine too, you can do that. Some people may suffer from headaches due to this contracture that they have going on here. Some don't, but some do. Just work really lightly. No one really wants to have a headache. Sometimes headaches can be brought on when you're working on the neck. Just start slowly and just, you know, always check on your client to make sure they're doing good. Are you doing good?
Yes.
Awesome. So always check in with your client, because to you this may be light, but to them you're killing them. So always just be gentle. And spread out the tissue. Use your fingers if you need to help stabilize that nugget end. And if you need to shift back and forth from the wider end to the narrow end, you can do a mixture of both. That's cool, as long as your client is receptive to your treatment of what you're doing. So I'm just gonna go all the way to the mid back here and stop. And then if I wanna go right on top of it, I can kind of just crayon it out. Just like that. Now we call this the crayoning technique because it's like you're holding a pencil or a crayon, and we're just kind of like, you know, coloring and just outlining. It's like outlining. So right now I'm actually outlining where the little bump is, but then if I kind of want to go into the center of it, I can do that too with the crayoning technique. So it's more of a precise and refining technique that is used when we say we're crayoning. Okay. So if you want to work into the upper traps, you can as well. See what's going on with the upper traps. I feel a little adhesion right in there. So it always helps to broaden your work area, not always stay stuck in one spot, because we already know fascia runs from head to toe. So it's always important to address it as a whole, not just one specific area. Okay, so we kind of loosen that up a little bit, and then we work on the other side. And she's got a few things going on here on this left side. This could always be because she probably sleeps on this side, that it has a tendency to become tighter than the other side. And just work the area until we feel like it loosens up. And then if we need to switch again our points, we can. So I feel like I spend more time nuggeting than I do with fasciablasting. And I think that's because I like to work very specific and very in detail. To me, when you fasciablast the entire area here, that's just to prep everybody, just to prep the tissue, bring the blood flow up. So I like to spend a lot more time nuggeting. I feel like with the nugget, I feel a lot more of the contractures. And if I want to, I can always bring in a blaster back into this stage of the treatment. So like I feel like there's a lot going on here. So if I want to, I can kind of bring in the face blaster. And the face blaster you can actually use to work deep if you want to. It's all in your pressure. So if you want to kind of work a little bit more deeper in there, you can. Always check with your client if they can tolerate that. Is that good?
Yes.
You okay? Perfect. So you can actually work in a little deeper with the face blaster, but if you wish to switch to a bigger claw, you can. So you can kind of work in a little deeper. So you're probably asking yourself, how long should I do this treatment for? Well, to me, in my opinion, less is more. You can always do 5 minutes. I like to always give the body a day or two in between for it to heal. So I like to always wait between 24 to 72 hours. That 48-hour period tends to be like the magic number, but If you want to wait a few more days, you can. Everybody is different. Everybody goes through the stages of inflammation differently. So it all depends on you. You can always use Ashley's Fasciablaster oil to help heal a little faster because of arnica, because of the ingredient that it has. It has arnica that helps with bruising very nicely. And we just apply it in this area, just like that, very gently. And it smells delicious, so you can kind of just oil up if you want to help move blood, lymph out throughout and help it circulate and help it flow. So you see, it really isn't that much of work, you know, so it all depends on, you know, on you, on how dedicated you are, and really be disciplined in working on something like this. All right, guys, so if you guys have any more questions, you can leave it in the comment below. I'll be more than happy to answer any of your questions, or if there's another video that you guys would like me to do, please let me know. Give me your feedback on the comments below.